What's up? Yeah. Okay. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of the class, I'd like to say thank you for everyone first. I think Ron will say thank you again, but thank you everyone for coming today. It means a lot to us, for our juniors, and for all the parents, of course, and our teachers. Alright. So the devotion I'd like to do today is from 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 4, which says, "For everything created by God is good, and nothing is to be rejected if it is received with thanksgiving." Now for my whole life, I was never tall. And this was a major disadvantage in theme parks where height limit dictates who gets to ride the rides. Due to this, I would sadly stay by my grandma, eating a hot dog, or two, probably why I look like this. But after the rides, my sister got to tell her stories of how a huge boulder rolled down towards her in Indiana Jones, or got to illustrate the feeling of going through a loop on a roller coaster. I was, of course, just as any brother who couldn't do the same thing as their siblings, jealous. More importantly, being short affected my playing style in tennis. When I was small, the 10-year-old Patrick always wanted to be a professional tennis player. And as a tennis player, height is an advantage. But I was too small to hit a 100-mile-per-hour serve and did not have the arm span to reach lob overheads. So I was the victim of a lot of lobs. So I needed to play differently than all of the tall people. I needed to use more of my legs for power as I served. And I needed to do different pathing of my footwork when I wanted to reach for a smash. And despite all the extra work, it was devastating when I had to make a decision to stop my dream to be a professional tennis player. And forever, and for the longest time, I blamed my failure to achieve my dreams on my size. In school, the story was the same. You see, if you were small, you had the prestigious honor to be in what was called the MSG, or the midget support. And as normal people were bullied, I was called names as well. Very nostalgic. I found the Facebook posts. Back then, I really hated it. But looking back at it, I would not have it any other way. You see, being short makes you see the world differently. And I'm not talking about, whenever you stand in the line and all the tall people get to see the backs of the person in front of you while the short people gets to see their butts. But I'm talking about how you start to realize what it feels like to be disadvantaged compared to others. What it feels like to be judged for something that is out of your control. This constant pressure on my size encouraged me to prove those people wrong. Thus, a drive to achieve more or exceed the expectations of others grew in me. So I signed up for the student council, and it changed my life. In the council itself, being the youngest and quite literally the smallest, it posed even more challenges. Prepare me to Dio right there. As much as the senior counselors were inviting, I still felt intimidated. However, my suboptimal physical stature meant that I was quote-unquote cute to them. And just as my sister treated me as a little brother, my seniors did as well. Through that relationship, I learned what student council really meant. Because your definition of the council changes as you go from grade to grade. And since then, and since I was grade 8, that vision of the student, that the SRC was more than just the helper of the school. And we were the voices of the students, helped me get my presidency in grade 12. When I found the courage to join MCC, my size was that surprise factor, as I had a loud voice for such a small person. But more importantly, it meant forming blocks with those who were intimidated by the frontrunners of the competition, and impressing the judges by going against those frontrunners. And I could go on and on and on about how being short has helped me in life, and all the failures I have, and all of the successes. But the message I'm trying to convey today is that my successes started from failures, because I would always focus on my shortcomings, or what I thought was my shortcomings, instead of being grateful or working with what I have. Today, I believe that God, just like He makes all of us unique, has made me short for a purpose. And most of the times, we don't know what that purpose is. But what we can know and what I can assure you is that that purpose is good. So as we move on today as the graduating class of 2018, and as grade 11s and grade 9s, you take your exams and apply to colleges next year, be grateful for every part of you instead of asking yourselves or questioning yourselves why you were made that way. And I know it's been a long day, so I don't want to keep rambling on and on because I'm pretty sure people will not listen. However, if you did get anything I said, I want you to get this. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Tjandra, and I thank God every moment of my life that I'm short. Thank you.
Thank you, Patrick, for the authentic and heartwarming devotion. Next, we have the valedictorian.